4 safe hands, 2 great goalkeepers, but only one can be numero uno. And who should it be? Who should be the Hearts' number 1 going forward? Should it be Zander Clark or should it be Craig Gordon? Welcome back, guys. Son of Scotland TV here. Put up a poll just to kind of see what everybody thinks about the current goalkeeping situation. Obviously, you have Zander Clark and Craig Gordon both wanting to be number 1. Not only do they want to be the number 1 for Hearts, but they're both trying to get into the Scotland team. And if you're not number 1 for Hearts, then it's going to be hard to see how you can possibly be number 1 for Scotland. But anyway, let's leave Scotland on the back burner right now. So I asked who should be the number 1 for Hearts, and after only 19 votes, I suppose that's what happens when you let your channel die for 4 months. But anyway, we're back, and after 19 votes, there was a little win here for Craig Gordon. Small margin, not a lot in it, 53% to 47%, so I believe it was 10-9 in terms of votes for Craig Gordon. Now, I didn't vote in this poll, but obviously I would have voted for Craig Gordon too, and I've heard the arguments why it should be Zander Clark, because he's came in when Gordon got injured, he's done a good job, it would be hard to drop him, it would be unfair to drop him, etc. I hear that, I agree that he's done a good job, and I rated Zander Clark. I was really happy when Hearts signed Zander Clark after he left St Johnstone, and at the time, I couldn't believe it, because I genuinely believe that we have the best goalkeeping options in the league. When Zander Clark joined, we got the best number 1, and then I think we arguably had, a number 2 that was easily top 5 in the league at that point. And I think Zander Clark has done a good job. But for me, as much as people say it would be harsh to drop Zander Clark, I think it's harsh not to give Craig Gordon a chance to get back in. This is a guy that, up until his injury, we would have said he was our best player. Forget about Suter, forget about Shankland. Craig Gordon is a Hearts hero. He was, at that time as well, he was the number 1 for Scotland. Pretty much everyone had accepted that he should have been the number 1 during the last Euros, and that Davy Marshall had basically stolen that spot for some reason. For Craig Gordon was the man. And he's got almost, for me, he's got legendary status at Hearts. And I don't think he's lost that much. I know he's 41 now. For me, he's still near the top of his game. And I think it's a bit unfair just to drop this guy and just to demote him to number 2 because he got a double leg break that wasn't his fault. I think he should at least get a run in the team to try and earn that place back. So while I do accept that Zander Clark has done a good job, I don't think Zander Clark's been outstanding. I wouldn't go as far as saying he's been amazing. I don't think he's as good as Craig Gordon. And for me, that's what it boils down to. When Craig Gordon got injured, he was at the top of his game. He was our best player. Everyone was ranting and raving about Craig Gordon. You wouldn't have swapped Craig Gordon 18 months ago for any goalkeeper in Scotland. So I don't know why all of a sudden we're swapping him for Zander Clark, who was our number 2, despite being a good number 2. And what it really should boil down to is who is the better goalkeeper. And for me, it's Craig Gordon. So I think it's harsh that Craig Gordon is not number 1 right now. I also think it's harsh that he's been replaced at Scotland too. For me, Gordon should be above Clark and Gunn. He should be above Zander Clark for Hearts, and he should be in front of Angus Gunn for Scotland. I think Gunn's came in and done okay for Scotland, but I've not seen this highlight reel of saves. A lot of the games that Gunn's been in, we've been really comfortable in, and he's not really had any, big match-saving or goal-saving saves to make. So, again, I think that Craig Gordon was doing great. He was looking like he was going to, finish his career on top at Hearts. He was looking like he was going to be the number 1 for Scotland at a Euros competition. He got that double leg break, and all of a sudden, he's just been pushed back. He's been demoted, and he's now number 2, it would appear, for club and country, and I just don't really think that's fair. I think that he should be number 1 for both. So that's my opinion. I understand people that will vote for Clark, and I get your reasoning, but for me, Craig Gordon's still the better of the 2. It wasn't his fault he got injured. And if we are in a game that we must win, if we're going into the Scottish Cup final, or if we're going into the last league game of the season, and we need a win, I would feel more comfortable with Craig Gordon in nets. If we go to the Euros, who would I favour? If we are going to the Euros and we need to pick between one of these 2, to go in nets for Scotland. I mean, for me, I'm picking Craig Gordon, because he's the better goalkeeper, so for me, he should be the number one. I think he's better than Zander Clark. I like Zander Clark, but I think Craig Gordon is better. That's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Since none of you's commented, maybe you can comment on this video, and I'll respond, obviously, to what you guys think. Anyway, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.